Hey YouTube, welcome back to a brand new video. Now we're going to do something a little bit different today and just kind of talk off script a little bit about all of the rumors of Animal Crossing 2026 or Animal Crossing 6 or whatever the game is going to be called, because so many people are talking about it now. So I thought we'd kind of address a few things in a much more relaxed and casual setting, talk about a few things, share what I think about some of these things, and just basically have a bit of a chill discussion about it. Now, there has been plenty of rumors, if you haven't heard, that Animal Crossing will come out, or the next Animal Crossing will come out next year in 2026. Now, this stems from a Nintendo podcaster and YouTuber suggesting that basically a Nintendo Direct will air sometime in July, so in the next couple of weeks presumably, and at the end Isabelle will announce that a new game is being worked on, which I think we probably all expect at this point anyway, but they'll officially, apparently, or allegedly officially announce that something is in the works and then provide a release date being 2026. Now, this is something they've done in the past. They have, in the past, when we were talking about New Horizons and they were about to launch that, and we didn't even know it was called New Horizons at the time, we did have Tom Nook say, oh, by the way, Isabelle's just joined Smash, but we're also working on a game. And yes, it will come in 2019, I think it was, or maybe even 2018, I can't remember. But it was delayed, and then of course it eventually came in 2020. So this isn't unheard of, but whether we see it as soon as July, I don't know. I really hope it's true. I would love something new and fresh to talk about, and just the excitement of a new game in general, I think the community will love. So personally, do I think this is real? I think it could be, and I don't know, maybe July is a little bit too early, maybe they might wait for September Direct maybe, but I don't think it's too unrealistic. Now, this also coincides with lots of older rumors from a couple of years ago now that said a new Animal Crossing game was around the corner and was kind of going to drop in 2026. So again, this could be a coincidence, or maybe these two rumors kind of have influenced each other, or it's just a coincidence that people think we're going to get one in 2026. Now, going back to what kind of things people think we're going to see, or at least what stems from these rumors, is apparently it's going to be a city with skyscrapers. Now, again, personally, I think that could be true. There's no way they're going to do another tropical island. Even when we were thinking about what New Horizons, or the Animal Crossing Switch as we used to call it, was going to be, I don't think anyone even guessed a tropical island. And it's so kind of different and far removed from the towns from each generation that a tropical island was genius. It was a genius move. We were able to, or the Nintendo were able to create a story behind that, and it all gave it substance and, you know, meaning. But would they do that again? Probably not. It would be pointless just to release another tropical island like, oh, we're expanding to more islands. It kind of probably wouldn't work. So going the city route, I think, would be the next logical step. And we have had Let's Go to the City or City Folk that kind of resembled a city setting. We had the town and then we had a separate city. I don't think it's unrealistic to kind of go back to the roots a little bit and move away from the tropical islands. Maybe Tom Nook's even like, Isabelle is maintaining the Nook Getaway package, and we're moving into the city now, and we're doing something new and big, and maybe some enterprise style venture. I don't know. I can see that working, but I know a lot of people won't like that, because when you think of city, you don't think we're going to be able to decorate outside, which I don't necessarily believe. I think we could build a city from the ground up, decide where skyscrapers are going, develop them, have countless rooms inside, apartment buildings, shops, multi-story car parks even, which leads us on to the next thing, could be really good. So one of the other things was that vehicles and cars would be involved. And again, I don't know how I feel about this. I know a lot of people said, well, we don't need that. But then in New Horizons, everyone was saying, I wish we could cycle around our island. So I guess there could be a market there for that. But again, I don't know if it would be a case that we would get in a car like in GTA or something and drive around the city. I think it could be something like in Happy Home Designer on the 3DS, where you get in a car to go between facilities and it's like a split, like a loading screen or a cutscene. Or even when on the original, when you got on a train to visit another town, it could be something as simple as that rather than actually getting in a car and driving it somewhere. But maybe it's a mixture of both. So again, I could kind of see that working. Would they go that route? Possibly, because they probably do want to step away from the island life a little bit, just to separate the generations of Animal Crossing. Now, if you go back to the original sources, I think they even say these are from a brainstorming session. Some of them are reworked, some of them were dropped, and they might not even necessarily be for the next game, but surely I think we all think some of them probably will carry over. So if they are looking to do a new game, which they almost definitely are, they probably will look back at other things they've thought of in the past. So maybe vehicles and cities isn't that far-fetched. Another thing that was brought up is the potential for puzzles and mini games, which I think is a must. Not so much the puzzles, although I do think it would be really cool to incorporate something that if you wanted to step away from designing or decorating or something for a little while, you could just do some puzzles as something for fun. But I think the mini game aspect, which is something that has been massive since New Leaf and then kind of fell off for New Horizons, I definitely think they should bring that back, and I think they will. I think they realize with New Horizons, although it was an incredible game, it's got lots of content, like thousands of items, people have put in thousands of hours. I think the one thing they kind of missed was the multiplayer aspect, and I think they're going to build off that and play off that going forward probably. But yes, they also suggested a 2026 release, which I do think if it is true, they're going to say this is coming in 2026, or you'll hear more in 2026, or we'll have an Animal Crossing Direct in 2026. But I do think we should take it with a pinch of salt, of course, and maybe just think it will probably get delayed again between now and then. So I would say, even if they say it's coming in 2026, I think it's probably 2027 anyway. That, again, this is just my personal opinion, pure speculation, who really knows, but I would expect some kind of delay, especially for a big game like Animal Crossing. Now, some other things that were floating around is a new money system and a shopping center with clothing stores, vehicle workshops and that, and I can't help but think of like OK Motors, so I wonder if they once upon a time thought, we're going to bring OK Motors into New Horizons and have some kind of vehicle workshop there so we can include these players from Pocket Camp into New Horizons. And then it was scrapped, and then this is kind of floating around for future ideas, or whether that's something they will bring into a city setting. Who knows? Let me know what you think about that. Would you want OK Motors to return? I think they could actually play a big part in a city, and it would be great to bring them to a mainline game, actually. Now, again, we don't know if these are scrapped ideas, if this is all just made up, or if there's any like substance to these rumors, or if they are from a brainstorming session, because we know Nintendo do this, and sometimes they do even share their ideas from brainstorming sessions. So putting all that aside, I really could see them going the city route, and some of this stuff does kind of make sense and fall in line. One of the big things was that we would be able to sell our designs, apparently. So rather than just kind of sharing them online, we could sell them for in-game money, not real money, I doubt. In-game money, and build up business, and maybe you could rank businesses online and try and be the best clothing store and stuff. I think that would be kind of fun. But you do risk stepping away from Animal Crossing again and what it means just to chat with villagers and live in a cozy forest of a town. So I don't know if that's the way they could go. They could go all the way back and just have a town in a forest, which I would also love. So, and another thing that we kind of have to consider is something that kind of no one talks about anymore, is that Nintendo did a playtest. I can't even remember what it was. It was like 6 months ago or something. And they did a playtest on the Switch where they basically tested, and I know people can't say too much about it, especially if they played, but basically it was just a bunch of people online. I won't say like too much, but I think you had to place blocks and things like that. So I think they were just testing like servers, how well you could have everybody playing together, and building in the same location. So I think that at the time there were some rumors about, could this be associated with Animal Crossing 6 or Animal Crossing 2026? Because you're getting everyone together in one server and testing online capabilities, and if it's feasible, could this suggest an online city setting where people move into the same cities? And if it was anything to do with Animal Crossing, I'm not saying it was, if it was, maybe we share an online apartment building and everybody moves in there and we sell designs to each other and we decorate our apartment and we move cities and we open businesses and stuff. I don't know, it could work. I'm sure Nintendo would do it in such a cute and cozy way that it would work really, really well, more than what we're just imagining it. But I will say, if the playtest had anything to do with it, it might back up the online city MMO style aspect of it. maybe? I don't know. Again, let me know what you think about that. But I will just say shared towns would be pretty cool, but I know a lot of people, they want their own creative space, so maybe that wouldn't work. Either way, just to wrap this kind of ramble casual chat up, I will say that whatever we guess or whatever we suggest or whatever we try and piece together or whatever clues we try and find and scrape, it'll probably be so far removed from what Nintendo actually do that it will just be almost embarrassing. But whatever Nintendo do actually do, I'm sure we will love. So yeah, will we see an announcement in July? Maybe. Will it release in 2026? It could. Will it be in a city? It's possible. Again, we don't really know. It's fun to talk about though, so I hope you didn't mind a more casual, laid back chat about this. Let me know if you like this kind of video. I just kind of wanted to talk about it again because everyone's just talking about it and it's really hype, and I'm just getting really excited and hoping we're going to hear something new. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think we will, in a couple of weeks' time, see even a tiny little announcement? If you wanted my absolute pure prediction, which maybe is for another video, but just to give you a rough idea, if we did see an announcement in July for the next Animal Crossing, my guess would be that Isabelle would come on screen and say, we're having really successful time with Nook Inc. and I'm taking it over, but Tom Nook is heading back to the city and maybe he's going to help my brother Digby set up some businesses and build a city and move away from the tropical island thing. I don't know if they would ever get rid of Isabelle. Maybe it would be Lottie as kind of the main figure, but I could see them kind of saying the island life is still there, but we're all moving back into the city and maybe Digby or Lottie could take over as the main. But let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much for listening. Huge shout out, of course, to the patrons and channel members. And I hope you don't mind a one-off unscripted video. And I'm sorry for all the ums and the ahs and the yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.